So in Halo 3, there's a challenge that I call the wall-to-wall. And it's pretty simple. Somehow find a way to launch all the way from this wall to this other massive wall. So can I do it? Let's give it a shot! So these two walls are located in between a couple of sections at the beginning of Quarantine Zone. In fact, these two walls are in two separate sections of the mission entirely. This means that they're really far apart. But luckily, the massive wall at the beginning of this mission stays loaded in even though everything at that section of the mission deloads. How's that for game development? Bungie wanted players to continue to feel immersed in this mission, so instead of just doing a trick where they block off this section, they kept the giant wall in, and they made it solid. So this means that hypothetically, you may be able to launch from one wall to the other, but there's only one direction we can go. We have to go from the lower wall to the giant wall. I wasn't planning on eliminating fall timer or using the acrophobia skull, and in Halo 2, the fall timer starts when you start falling on the map. Once your player model starts going down, after 3 seconds, you automatically die. This means it wouldn't be possible to go from the giant wall to the lower wall, but it might just be possible to go from the lower wall all the way to the Great Wall. So, how was I planning on doing this? Well, I wasn't really sure, but my first idea was to use a vehicle. Now, there are 3 vehicle options at the beginning of this mission: a Ghost, a Spectre, and a Warthog. Okay, we're going to try to go really far. We're going to do the wall-to-wall challenge. Although my plan was to use a vehicle to launch from one wall to the other, there was one tool that I thought might come in handy: a rocket launcher. In the second section of this mission, there's a rocket launcher that spawns right next to a Warthog. So it was pretty simple. All we need to do is pick up this rocket launcher and find a way to get a vehicle to the lower wall. What the f was that? What did I just get killed by?
Okay, am I driving? What the hell is happening? Dude. Okay.
That was ridiculous. Alright, get out now.
Let's go.
Oh
Oops.
my gosh.
I did it.
In order to be able to bridge the gap between the two walls, we enabled some skulls, namely the Boom, Sputnik, and Feather skulls. Dude, stop. Dude, this thing is like not meant for Feather.
Okay, I got it. Okay, I don't got it.
But if you've ever played the mission Quarantine Zone with the Feather Skull on, it is ridiculous. Even just trying to play through the mission normally is a challenge. Oh my
Dude!
Alright, I'm just taking the Warthog, I don't even care.
So glad we never encounter these stupid pieces of shit ever again.
Fucking tank, dude. Oh my. This is ridiculous. After fumbling around for about 10 minutes, I decided to give up on the rocket idea entirely. I'm not even going to pick up the rocket, I don't care. With the rocket idea out of the question, our next goal in this was getting the vehicle set up correct. In order to be able to launch to this wall with a vehicle, we'd need checkpoints. But the problem is, we'd need to get this vehicle set up before we activated any of these checkpoints, so we'd need to skip them. To do this, my plan was to launch up to this wall just as you get into this section with a Sentinel Enforcer. If I could launch my Spectre up to this upper level, there's a way that I could get all the way to the wall without entering any part of the mission and triggering a checkpoint.
There's plenty of great channels on YouTube that I will not watch because people in it are so boring.
Ooh, perfect. Okay, so in order to do this wall-to-wall challenge, I'm switching graphics because the old graphics are just terrible outside of this map. I'm going to try to get from that wall all the way over there to this wall. It's really far. But first I have to make it to the outside wall, and then we got to worry about getting a checkpoint. So I'm just going outside the map here. If you follow this path around the snowy cliffside, you'll eventually get to the slanted edge of the lower wall. In order to be able to get on this wall, you need to ramp your vehicle. To do this, you need to hold whatever the jump button is for you. Okay, perfect. This will give you a little lift on the front side and allow you to get on higher surfaces than you normally would be able to drive on. Say probably this one. I set up on this particular rung, and now I'll explain to you exactly how I planned on doing this. Okay, so we need to end up getting a checkpoint here, but we also need to be having frag grenades out so we can quadruple frag. So what we're going to do is we're going to, remember how we used to overcharge, and then once it hits the line, you can throw two grenades, or a little bit before the line, I guess.
Yeah, with a plasma pistol.
We're going to try to quad frag this onto that wall, but we need a checkpoint. So I'm going to need you to go down there and, like, if you can from here, kill the stuff. After 5 minutes of meandering around the map looking for a checkpoint,
You fucking kidding me?
my brother died trying to get this. Then, because he couldn't make a simple gap jump to make it back to the Sentinel Enforcer area, I accidentally launched myself with a grenade in the air and we ended up both dying.
It's hard, man. It's hard out here for a man. You know what?
So bad, dude. And now I'm about to die because I got blasted in the air. Great. Just stop being bad, dude.
I can't help it.
Because we both died, this meant that we would have to do this setup from scratch once more. I didn't have as easy of a time getting on the upper ledge just outside of the door in the Sentinel Enforcer area. Took me a few tries, but eventually I got there. I went to the same area on the short wall and set up my Spectre in the same spot. My plan was to again try to quadruple nade underneath this Spectre by having two players overcharge a plasma pistol. On its cooldown, if timed right, you could throw two at the same time. I expected 4 would probably get me there and might even be excessive, but I had my brother go get a checkpoint so we could test this out. It took him 7 minutes to walk back to just the previous section. And in that time, I completely forgot that I didn't have a plasma pistol. So we'd have to do this a little bit different than I originally planned. My brother was going to have to die every time to spawn on me, but I wanted to see if 2 perfectly timed frag grenades exploding underneath the Spectre at the exact same moment could get us anywhere near the distance required to land on this giant wall. You go on one side, I'll go on the other, and I'm aiming for like that dark dot. Okay, we're going to count down to 3 and just throw 1 frag. 3, 2, 1. Timing's bad, but I think we can do it. 3, 2, 1.
I always kind of cracked up a little bit.
Spin simulator. 3, 2, 1. I'm like, my character is barely moving, but it's spinning around me. 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. That was awful. What the hell? Let's try throwing it in this little thing right here. 2, 1. So the double frag approach was not working. This just simply wasn't enough power. Before I gave up on this, I wanted to try another approach. I wanted to see if double sticking this with plasma grenades would have a better effect. 1. We quickly found out this basically did nothing. So it was either give up on this or go back to the drawing board. Okay, I have an idea. Now, I had one last idea. I had the Pinata skull enabled, so my idea was to beat grenades out of my teammate and stack them into a nice neat pile. I would then try to throw a live plasma grenade at this stack and then get in the vehicle. In order to quickly create this plasma grenade stack, I had the Black Eye and Streaking Skull enabled. The Black Eye Skull allows you to get up to double overshields by beating down, and the Streaking Skull counts grenade throws as beatdowns. So by having my brother continuously throw grenades and back into me while I beat him from behind, I could quickly beat a large volume of plasma grenades out of him. Okay, I say that probably gets it done. Now, look at that pile. Let me move this shit out of the way. So there are 2 main things to know when creating a plasma grenade stack in Halo 2. You have to have a player looking in the vicinity of the grenades at all times. Let's get these bad boys configured a little bit higher up. If you turn away from the grenades and they exit your field of view, they will all disappear. And also, in order to have a proper stack, you need to unify all of the plasma grenades into a very small vicinity. The reason is, if you don't do this, the pile becomes unpredictable. The grenades scatter every which way, and it's hard to really hone in on your attempts. After reloading my gun about 280 times, I don't know, that's just an estimate. You have to reload a lot when you're doing this, and I didn't have a plasma pistol, so I had to reload my carbine constantly. Anyways, back on track. My pile was unified. I was finally ready to do this. I sent my brother forward to get a checkpoint, I guess backwards in this case, and I was finally ready to do this. To pull it off, guys. Holy shit. This might just work, bud. I'm flying my spaceship, dude, look.
You're a space cadet, dude. Halo 2 is ridiculous.
Ooh, doggy. Hit the map ceiling. One advantage of the Spectre over any other vehicle is its ability to boost in midair. If timed correctly, you can get the Spectre to stay in the air comically long times. The attempts that I got a lot of distance were few and far between. And in about 10 minutes of attempting this, I hadn't had one that was even really close to coming close to the wall. Most of the attempts looked like these ones you see here. Pretty bad. Because of this, I didn't think this setup was going to actually work, so I started testing some things out. I parked the Spectre on top of the stack of plasma grenades and then threw one right behind it. Although I accidentally got in the passenger seat, this was the closest I had gotten to landing on the wall. Oh. I'm never doing this in the passenger seat again. Where? Oh, I'm gonna throw up, dude. I tested this method once more, and it seemed to get the right trajectory, so I had both elements I was missing before, distance and trajectory. Okay, what I want you to do now is I want you to go and kill those wraiths. With my Spectre parked on top of this pile, I instructed my brother to go forward and kill the wraiths for another checkpoint.
Alright.
Ooh, ooh. Am I gonna hit this pole?
Yes.
Boost up! Oh my gosh, I just missed it. After this attempt, I knew this was definitely possible. I would just have to get the perfect launch. At first, I was throwing the live plasma grenade behind the Spectre, but I wanted to test to see what throwing it under it would do. Whoo! Close.
Close, close, close.
Oh, this might be a little short. I just missed the mark, damn it. In 3 consecutive attempts after changing my plan to sticking the bottom side of the Spectre, I was nearly making it with some consistency. I finally had the right recipe. Now I just needed to cook. I was getting closer and closer to this, but I once again decided to switch my approach. I switched back to throwing the plasma grenade behind the Spectre, but this time I was backing it up slightly. This seemed to give me better trajectory over a longer distance. Boom! Boom! Oh, dude, I'm like a space pilot. I had to freaking micro air adjust. Whoo, let's go! Alright, you can come up here now.
Finally, reaping the reward of my hard labor.
Woohoo! Just to prove to you, there is no acrophobia here. There is no acrophobia here. All legit, all done within the confines of the game.
Dude, you're ascending, dude.
I love how you can see literally like every part of this map up here. You can see the beginning, the middle. You can literally see the middle section that is enclosed and the end section. So you can see 3 sections that load separately all in one.
Go on the new graphics and look behind you. Show me where I'm at.
Oh, wait, that's the gondola chamber from Sacred Icon. Wait. Oh, that's forward in the mission, dude. So technically the spot that they load for the next part of the mission is behind us?
It's weird. Don't say I didn't ever discover anything.
Where do I...
Okay. Ooh, okay.
All I saw was dust. I turned and it was just a cloud of smoke.
I'm glad you didn't die because I was throwing the grenade to get some shields.
Oh wait,
Well,
okay, wait, stand right here.
No.
All right, double jumping.
What are you laughing at?
Yeah. Okay, that's why. You can't see this freaking platform from the top. So, wow, this is one of the best views in the game, dude. Well, there isn't that much up here, but it is a cool view.
It is a very cool view.
This map is massive. It is kind of crazy to think that I just launched from that fucking wall. It's barely visible in the OG graphics. You can still see that stupid fucking sentinel shooting. Blasting you 5 million times in the Spectre. I could just see you over there spinning over and over and over and over. Dude, what the? Dude, what the? Dude, what the?